What's up, you guys? It's Susan Morad right back here on Clever Music, and Taylor Swift is reflecting on how she felt right before she dropped her 2012 iconic album Red, and let's just say this album changed everything for her. Taylor Swift joined host Britney Spanos in the second episode of Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Albums podcast, where they talked about one of the defining albums of the past decade, Taylor's Red. The podcast, which airs exclusively on Amazon Music, aims to go inside the making and behind-the-scenes reality of 10 albums from the list and get insights from the artists who recorded them, along with the Rolling Stone staff. Of course, we all know and love Taylor's Red album, but now we're getting to hear Taylor's side about how she felt up until releasing it. At the time, Taylor was transitioning from her classic country music phase to becoming a literal pop princess. And Taylor was transparent about how she felt at the time, as she said this on the podcast.
I've always been very aware of my own sort of relevancy mortality. My career started when I was 16 putting out albums. So by 22, I was already in some days feeling like old news.
Taylor continued to explain how she saw up-and-coming artists coming out each week and felt like she wasn't sure what more she could offer people, as she was on her 4th record at the time. But of course, she didn't let those feelings stop her from prospering.
And that was sort of when I was like, no, you know what? I want to make music with people I've never made music with before. I want to learn and grow, and I don't want this to be the part of me that just sort of stays in this one place musically forever and bores people to death.
And she went on to explain that this, quote, wrestling match she had with her own fears is what made Red the joyride that it ended up being. Taylor also opened up about the album being her only true breakup record. She said, quote, I look back on this as my only true breakup album. Every other album has flickers of different things, but this was an album that I wrote specifically about like a pure, absolute to the core heartbreak. And she went into detail describing the writing process she went through when making the most iconic breakup song ever, All Too Well. The song was actually going to be 10 minutes long at one point. Taylor talked about the fan favorite track, saying, quote, it included the F word, and basically I remember my sound guy was like, hey, I burned a CD of that thing you were doing in case you want it. And I was like, sure. I ended up taking it home and listening to it, and I was like, I actually really like this, but it definitely is like 10 minutes long and I need to pare it down. On behalf of all Swifties, I'd just like to say that we wouldn't be mad at all if Taylor did decide to release the 10-minute version of the song someday. She further explained how the song came about, saying this.
It was like a day when I was just like a broken human, walking into rehearsal, just feeling terrible about what was going on in my personal life.
And she continued saying, quote, I think they could tell I was really going through it. I just started singing and riffing and ad-libbing this song that basically was All Too Well. We're sincerely sorry that Taylor felt so bad during this process, but so glad something so beautiful came from the heartbreak. Throughout the interview, Taylor made it clear that Red was a huge turning point for her, and the album was the reason she decided to make her follow-up pop album 1989, which went on to win Album of the Year and Best Pop Vocal Album at the 2016 Grammy Awards. Taylor talked about her transition from country music to pop, saying, quote, I felt so proud and still feel so proud of my origins in Nashville. But at a certain point, I started to feel like, am I allowed to color outside the lines here? It really was amazing on Red to realize like, oh, I'm allowed in these rooms. I'm accepted in these rooms. She also explained how the album gave her the strength to produce a full pop album, saying,
that was something that freed me up for a world of change and challenge and innovation, and I never would have had the bravery to kind of make the full leap into pop music if I hadn't been able to do what I did with Red.
And we're so glad she did. Taylor finished by adding, quote, I will always look back on it and just think, wow, that was really sort of the beginning of everything that I'm doing now. All I have to say is I'm not crying, you're crying. Swifties enjoyed the interview so much they took to Twitter to share their appreciation for Taylor opening up about this part of her music journey. One fan wrote, Taylor Swift talking about Red in 2020 is the best thing to happen today. Another Swiftie showed their appreciation for Taylor by tweeting, literally Taylor's podcast has me so emo. I love Red and I love her and I love how emotionally vulnerable it all is, and I just want to send her the purest of energy. Love you so much, Taylor Swift. Thank you for your art. Other fans are hoping that we get to hear the 10-minute version of All Too Well. This fan said, Taylor Swift is going to re-release Red and include a 10-minute track of All Too Well. I'm manifesting. And another Swiftie tweeted, if Taylor Swift releases the 10-minute version of All Too Well when she re-records Red, I just want all of you to know that I will be retreating into hibernation with an entire box of red wine, my cats, and my feelings until either the wine runs out or I die. Thank you and good night. Same girl, same. On that note, guys, I want to know what you think. What was the most interesting part of the interview for you? And also, do you really think Taylor might drop a 10-minute version of All Too Well? Hope so. Let me know everything in the comments section below. After that, click right over here for another clever music video. I'm your host, Susan Morad. You can find me on Instagram at Susan_Morad. I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.